What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk some Mike Vrabel as we got some more information on Vrabel's interest in the New York Jets job. So Jordan Schultz, NFL insider, was on with Colin Cowherd, and they both were discussing Mike Vrabel's interest in the New York Jets, and there's some legit interest here, which I think is a good thing. Let's roll the clip.
Woody Johnson, the kids, a little too close to personnel in the organization.
Yeah, so I think Woody Johnson meddles, Colin. He's not an owner that's going to just be absentee. But during much of the Joe Douglas era, he was not there. He was in Europe.
That's
and
right.
He was not meddling.
He was the ambassador
with Trump.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a role he has now. So we'll see if that changes things.
Right.
Christopher Johnson's probably more well-liked in that building than Woody. That being said, there are plenty of organizations that will not give their GM and head coach more than 2 or 3 years. They gave Joe Douglas 6, they gave Saleh 5.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, agents are looking at this that represent coaches and executives and saying, if I get the right type of personality in New York that can withstand that pressure cooker, he's going to have the opportunity to build the franchise the way he wants.
I talked to Mike Vrabel. Mike said, he said, I would take the Jets job. I just don't know who the GM would be. I'd have to like the GM.
That's exactly right. You have to get the GM right. You have to get the coach right. But if you can withstand New York, that's a roster that is built to win right now.
No, it's a real roster.
It is.
They found a left tackle from Penn State.
He's excellent. Olu Fashanu,
Yeah.
they love him. They have the receivers. They have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. And
They could actually trade down in the first round.
They could. And if you win in New York, if you win as a Jet, you're a legend. I mean, since taking over, Woody Johnson, they have the 6th worst winning percentage since 2000. They have not been in the playoffs since 2010, which is the longest playoff drought in North American sports. So Woody's not a perfect owner. I'm not here to say that. But I will tell you, he is seen as someone that will let you develop the roster the way you want and give you time.
Look, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't love Colin Cowherd's opinions, but this isn't an opinion thing. Something that he states is something we've heard before is it's going to depend on who the general manager is. He's interested in the job, but he's going to have to like the GM, which I think is fair. You don't get many opportunities to coach in this league. And unfortunately, if Vrabel takes a head coaching job and isn't successful, he likely will not get hired again. It's very rare that if you fail in your second opportunity that you get a third chance. So he is trying to position himself for the best opportunity. And why think of it from his perspective? Why would you want to sign up for something if you don't believe in the vision that the GM has? I think it's more than fair. And I don't necessarily think it means that Vrabel's got to have the keys to the castle and he wants to shop for the groceries too. That's not how I view this at all. Again, I'm going to reiterate myself or repeat myself, but I think it has more to do with him wanting to put himself in a position for success. Look at these results. People are making thousands every month betting on sports completely risk-free. The secret, they're using OddsJam. OddsJam isn't just another betting app on the market. It's turning the entire system in your favor. Here's how. OddsJam uses arbitrage betting. They find odds differences across sports books. You bet both sides, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's a good example. If you bet 500 on Boise State in this example to win on FanDuel and 335 on the opponent San Francisco on DraftKings, you're guaranteed, no matter who wins, to make $50. It's that simple. With OddsJam's mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands monthly, and to get you started, use code O'Leary for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I'll guarantee that you profit during the trial, but if you don't for whatever reason, cancel with one click, no questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com, use code O'Leary, and start making money the smart way. Something that Schultz, I thought, hit on that is really important and an underrated part of the Jets' job is the leash that these guys get in the New York market. Number one, New York is very pressure-packed. No one's going to ever deny that. And the Jets are not a very good, well-run franchise. But something that they do is they give their guys a pretty long leash. There's a really untrue narrative that the Jets turn it over way too often. And it's just false. It's not true. Look at the most recent regime. Robert Saleh got into his 4th season as a head coach without finishing with a winning record. Joe Douglas got 6 years on the job and never finished with a winning record. It's really rare to see that someone in those positions of GM and head coach get that long. Mike Maccagnan got 4 years. Adam Gase got 2 years. He should have been one and done. That one's maybe even a little bit quicker, so to speak, that he got 2 years. But there was a case to fire him after year one. They started like 1-9 that year. They got hot at the stretch. They finished their season, 6-2, or something along that mark, and finished 7-9 on the year. They were horrible at the start of the season, horrible. But he should have been one and done. Todd Bowles got 4 years as a head coach. Rex got 6. Tannenbaum got forever. Also, like, this isn't usually the Jets firing GMs every 2 years. That's really not the case. And Mike Vrabel's my number one guy. He is the person that I would like to hire the most. I also like Brian Flores. I know that one's maybe a little bit more controversial, but I do like him. I think I like his attitude and mindset, and he has a similar one to Mike Vrabel. And Vrabel might come off a little bit like an asshole, but I think the Jets really need that. There's 2 examples that I saw on Twitter yesterday that I wanted to share. The first is discussing a scenario that happened in 2018. And apparently Kevin Dodd reported for his 3rd year with the Titans in 2018. Former 2nd-round pick entered a meeting room. As he sat down, someone said, "Players only." There was a new sheriff in town, and the new head coach, Vrabel, has just let Dodd know that his decision to skip voluntary OTAs cost him his job. Is that an asshole move? A little bit, but he's not going to take shit from anyone on this roster, including Aaron Rodgers. And if the Jets are going to keep Aaron Rodgers in 2025, it can't be the Rodgers show. It has to be whatever the GM and head coach decide to do. They are more powerful than the quarterback. And I don't think that was necessarily the case this past year and probably the year before that. And if Rodgers is okay with that, then I'm saying, sure, I will sign up for it. That's a whole nother debate, though, that we can get into at another point. But I kind of like that. And there was another one, too. Delaney Walker said this one time I dropped the pass in practice. He being Vrabel, played the video in front of the team and asked if I get paid millions to drop passes. If he's hard on you, it's because he likes you and believes that you can be great. And if you don't want to be great, he has no use for you. That's what we need to see from the new Jets head coach. Robert Saleh, player coach, obviously, and I respect Saleh for being so respected, especially by his defense. But it felt like he coddled his guys. And, in Hard Knocks, we probably saw a little bit more of a peek behind the curtain where he was a little bit more intense than he showed at press conferences and just other opportunities. And look, airing, out a guy to the media, I don't think is totally fair, but I like this. I think it's important for this next head coach to hold guys accountable. I think the Jets have had an accountability issue under this last regime. They point the finger a lot, and Vrabel's not going to put up with that, which again is just yet another reason why I'm so high on him and think he would be the perfect fit for the New York Jets. So I hope it's something that gets done in the next month. Obviously not in season, but after the year in January, I'm sure we're going to get the interviews, and it's going to be dependent on who the Jets hire at GM. So that'll do it for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.